You are doing heart rate training wrong, and it's not your fault. Heart rate training is everywhere right now. Zone 2, low heart rate runs, it's trending, and I get it. I've posted videos showing my heart rate during workouts and races, and they've gone viral. Why? Because people are curious. They see my numbers and ask things like, how is your heart rate so high? Or why is mine so high even when I'm slower? But here's the problem. Most of the information on Instagram and TikTok is short, simplified, and honestly a little confusing. And that's why I'm making this YouTube video, to finally explain what heart rate training actually is, what it's not, and how to use it to get faster, healthier, and avoid burnout. This is everything I wish I'd known earlier and what I now use in all of my coaching and training plans. So part 1, what heart rate training is not. Let's clear up some misconceptions first. Heart rate training is not just zone 2. It's not just checking your heart rate after your run. And it's definitely not something you should feel bad about if your heart rate is high. Heart rate training is simply this: using your heart rate, your personal data, to manage intensity. That's it. And when you do it right, you'll train smarter, stay healthier, and make way more progress than if you're just guessing your way through your training. Part 2, how it actually works. Heart rate training is personalized. I've said that 1,000 times, and I probably will say it 1,000 times more. It's based on your physiology, not someone else's. And that is what makes it genius, in my opinion, because we all have a different heart rate. But through understanding yours, you can personalize your training. For me, I've tested my max heart rate in a lab, and it's 197. My lactate threshold, LT2, which also I know from testing is around 175 beats per minute, and that's about 88% of my max. I also know what my true easy pace happens to be around 138 or sub 140 heart rate, and that's roughly 70% of my max. And during races, I'm usually hovering around 180 to 186, and I use this data to guide every single run that I do. That means I don't just run based on feel or pace, I run based on the heart rate targets, not zones, that align with the purpose of the workout. And this is what I teach in my training plans too. You can train by pace, sure, but here's the issue in my experience with pace. Most of us, especially runners who are ambitious, we want to be faster. So we end up pushing the pace on every run, which means that we're running at the wrong intensity and not actually building aerobic fitness. Heart rate, on the other hand, is what keeps us honest. If I'm running at 8 minutes per kilometer, but my heart rate is too high, like 145, when I should be at 140, I need to slow down. Heart rate training forces me to slow down, even if that pace feels too slow, even if I could walk faster, because our body does not know pace, it knows effort, which can be measured through heart rate. Because the goal isn't pace, the goal is the right stimulus for adaptation. Part 3, why zone 2 alone isn't enough. Now, here's a big one. Just doing zone 2 isn't the answer. And a lot of people get this wrong with heart rate training, because heart rate training does not equal zone 2. I get so many messages like, I switched to zone 2 and it's not working. And I get why. You went from pushing every run to now just running slow all the time. And that's not balanced training. What you actually need is a mix of intensities and a smart way to build them over time. And this is called periodization. So you start with mostly lower intensities to build your base, and then you gradually layer in more challenging runs like tempo sessions, speed play, and finally race-specific efforts. And that's how real training works. And this is exactly how I structure my own running and the plans that I sell. Part 4, how to start training by heart rate. So how do you start? Here's what I recommend. First, try to find your max heart rate. You can do this through racing a 5K and pushing at the end. And I typically recommend adding 2 to 5 beats to the max unless you think that you really gave it your absolute all. And then use heart rate targets that are percentages of your max. That gives you a personalized way to manage intensity, no matter your speed or level. And second, train by time, not distance, because not everyone runs at the same speed. If you and I both run 10 kilometers, but I finish in 45 minutes and you take 70 minutes, you're doing a completely different workout. And time levels the playing field and ensures that you're training appropriately for your level. This is exactly why I created my running plans. Why I made my own plans. Honestly, I never thought I'd sell running plans. I actually started a protein muffin company in San Diego before doing any of this, but after working with so many athletes and growing my community on Instagram, I realized that a lot of runners are like me, hardworking, ambitious, and following plans that just don't work for them. They're using Garmin Coach or Runna, and again, if that's working for you, amazing, stick with it. But so many people came to me saying, I followed the plan exactly and I didn't improve, or worse, I got injured. And that honestly breaks my heart because I've been there. So I created a different kind of plan. I created a plan that is based on heart rate targets and even more specific than zones and personalized to your max. It's structured around time, not distance, and it progresses gradually with weekly increases in volume and intensity. And it's built to help you train smarter, not just harder. This isn't about doing less, it's about doing the right kind of training for where you're at right now and where you want to go. If this clicked for you and you're ready to train smarter, head to my website, link below. There's a full list of running plans for every distance and level. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, and even 7-day week programs from a 5K to a marathon, and they're all built around the exact principles that I shared today. And if you liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what's been your biggest challenge with heart rate training. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. And if you're curious how to sleep better as a runner, no BS tips, then check out this video that I posted last week.